Okay. Third service call of the day. It's 40 degrees Celsius here in Toronto, Canada. Customer's thermostat is set to 67 degrees. It's almost 80 degrees in their space. It's this old Carrier rooftop here. We'll do our first inspections. Somebody has the power off. Oh, this isn't gonna make for a good video at all, is it? Let's see though. Anything else visual? No, no, no. If this is it, this won't be much of a post, will it? You gotta be kidding me. Well, we have no condenser fan motors. Compressors are on. Units humming away. Let's grab a screwdriver here and see if these blades are seized. Nope, fan blade 1 is free, and look at that. Most common call of the summer, guys. How much you want to bet it's a run capacitor? We'll check it out in a sec. This one here, no such luck. Nope, but at least we got condenser fan for first stage, I'm presuming, on. Oh, there we go, second stage just came on with a little assistance. Okay. Let's open this puppy up and see what we got. Okay, so here's our electrical cabinet. Looks like somebody's changed out the indoor fan motor contactor. Compressor contactors don't look too bad. Maybe a little bit burnt up, but overall okay for the time being. But here's our issue, our run capacitor. I'm not sure if you guys can see the perspective on that, but it's marshmallowed in the top. You see how it's rounded there? That's something you'll usually find when a capacitor has failed. So we're gonna check our specs on this dual run cap here, 10-10, and we're gonna have to head over to the supplier, see if we can pick one up. But before that, I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna show you how to actually check the farads on it. So let's get that now. All right guys, before we actually check our microfarads, let's check our running pressures on this system. Make sure that we're actually okay before we go changing parts in case we need something else. So these Carrier rooftops, they're deadly. This suction fitting here is not awful to get at, but the one up there on first stage, if you put your hand too high, you're gonna lose it in that condenser fan motor. So let's throw our gauge on. Okay, initially we have an issue. This is 410, and that is not good running pressure right there on our low side at all. So either first stage or second stage isn't running. I'm not sure which is which yet. Compressor A1, sorry, right here. So the one I'm on now, A1, if you can see, is first stage. It's piping hot on the top, and we're running suction pressure of 225. So let's throw our discharge gauge on and see what the hell's happening right now. All right, discharge gauge going on. That's insane. The condenser fan motor must be going the wrong way. 550 PSI. I'm surprised this hasn't tripped on high head pressure yet. Let's go check our airflow over top of the condenser fan motors first. All right, so these are hard to tell by hand usually. So what I like to do is, if you guys can find a piece of flat metal or paper usually works well. It should be pushing outwards. So this one here is okay because it's not drawing straight in. I can tell, positive pressure. This condenser fan, look at this, watch. You see that? It's drawing straight down. So this fan is running backwards. That's an excellent indicator that our run capacitor, which is right here, has failed. So let's shut this off and then we'll check the microfarads on it. Okay, we've shut the power off to the system. Here's something you guys should always do. If you're ever dealing with a run capacitor like this, they store charge. So there's something called grounding a cap. Make sure you have an insulated screwdriver handle. This used to be a slot head that broke. I used a belt grinder and turned it into an awl. But anyways, you're gonna take one of your terminals to the rooftop. Do them all like this. That way, if there's any charge left, it's gonna ground to the rooftop, through your screwdriver. So this unit here, or this capacitor, should I say, is actually safe now to check. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull our terminals off. Okay, excellent. And yeah, I'll pull it off and I'll show you guys in with a better angle how to check it. All right, so you're gonna wanna set your meter. I have a Fluke HVAC clamp meter here. And right here, this setting right there is your farads, okay? Microfarads. And just another thing that I mentioned earlier, this run capacitor was marshmallowed. You can clearly see it now. If you I hope the camera can pick it up, but it's something you almost have to see in real life. Anyways, this section here is all rounded out. Usually they're flat like this. This is all marshmallowed. So here's your common terminal. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your leads on the farad setting, and we're looking for 10 and 10. So 10 microfarads per side. So you take your common from your meter and you go to here, make sure there's no rust or anything so you get a good reading. And as you can see, we have nothing on our meter, 0. So that is not good. And we'll check our other side. Let me see if I can give you guys a better angle here of this meter, just so you know I'm not BSing you. Let me zoom in a hair. Perfect. And here we go. Registering absolutely nothing. And nothing. So this rooftop needs a new run capacitor. We're gonna go over to the supplier and see if we can get one. All right, we just got back from the supplier. Take a little break in the car. It's the only air conditioning I get to see. So unfortunately, they didn't have a dual run cap. We had to get 2 individuals, which is fine. We're just gonna have to make a jumper wire to get power from one common to the next. And maybe make a new bracket too, because these are quite a bit smaller. But as you can see, they're both 10 microfarad. So let's get up to that roof and switch these out. All right, here, just as an example, I'm gonna check the farads on a brand new run capacitor here. So we should be getting 10. And there it is on our meter, 10.1 microfarads. Beautiful, zeroed out, and we'll check our other one. 10.2 microfarads. Awesome, let's install these. All right, so as you can see, these are much smaller than what we had, and they're not gonna fit in that old bracket. So we're gonna have to make a new one here. Let's get rid of this old bracket. By the way, guys, I've had these snap-on screwdrivers here for 16 years, and I've only ever broken one. So if you guys are ever looking for literally a lifelong screwdriver, you might pay a little bit extra, but they're kind of worth every dollar. Okay, run caps in place. And we're gonna use this all round here, this copper all round, to create a new bracket for these. So I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put them this way. Yeah, I probably will. This way here might be easier. That way it's not too close to our contactor or our board. we'll do that. Okay. There's one side of it, and we'll get these little run capacitors here and probably have to drill a new hole, which is fine. Let's move our wires out of the way. Let's put these up here. Now, stay in place. Don't give me a hard time. It's 40 degrees outside. Excellent. And we will fire a screw here. Thank you, Carrier, for making me pre-drilled holes. Excellent. See, we're fixed in place. And we can start wiring them in. Let's just cut off this excess. Awesome. Here we go. 2 individual 10 microfarad capacitors installed. Okay, so our yellow terminals here were our commons before. So what we're going to do is we're going to pile them all onto one side of one run capacitor here. Boom, boom, boom. So we had 3. And then each one of these is for our condenser fans. So 1 and 1. Actually, that wire is a little bit longer, so we'll put it there. This wire is shorter. And we're going to have to create a jumper now from here to here, because that dual run capacitor was all powered through one specific unit, like it was just itself. This one here is 2 individuals because we need 1 per fan motor. So in order to get our voltage from here, we need a bridge from here to here. So we'll make that now. Okay, so all I brought up is a piece of stranded, I don't know what gauge this is, 10 gauge wire, 8 gauge wire, 10 probably. We just need a little piece like this. We can strip both ends off. Let's do our other side. Nice. And we have these spade connectors here, which will go on our pins. And then our crimping tool. And I'm sure all of you have seen this before, but there's an insulated and non-insulated section. So your insulated side would be here, the top teeth, which I'm going to use. And just give it a pinch. And the whole purpose behind that is so you don't break the casing. If I was to use the sharper end, that's for non-insulated, it would just punch a hole in this insulation. All right, let's put this last one on. Crimp. Let's make sure they're on there good. Nice. And there's our little jumper. Okay, so again, as I said before, we're just going to go 1 terminal here, bringing our voltage from this back run capacitor to our front run capacitor. And we're all set. Let's turn this rooftop on and see what happens. All right, moment of truth. Let's fire her on. Boom. And what do you know? Condenser fan motors came on immediately. Now, just to verify direction again. Oh, you know what? Here, paper is actually the easiest way to do it. I didn't see this before. We're going to take this manual here. Ouch. I think I just cut my hand. Anyways, that's another part of this job you better get used to. Uh-oh. Anyways, here's our rooftop. And our book is blowing away. Our book is being pushed out. As you can see. So we have correct airflow. Let's check our gauge pressures and try not to lose a hand in this unit here. All right, so we still have our gauges hooked up to system A1, but as you can see here, we're running at about 175 PSI, which is still high, but the room downstairs is 80 degrees. And our discharge pressure is fluctuating. Sorry about this. These used to be liquid filled until the casing broke here and it all came out. But 425 is a little bit on the high end. There is a reason for that though. And I'm going to show you the pressure change that will occur when we put the door on. So what's happening right now is the air that actually gets drawn through the coil, which is over here, because that's where all the refrigerant is. That gets rid of the heat from inside, that condenser, via these fans here. They discharge it into the ambient. So what's happening right now is, with that panel door off here, this is why I don't like Carrier's design personally. The air is being bypassed, it's bypassing the coil right now. So instead of it getting drawn through the condenser, we're actually drawing through this open panel, which should always be closed. So what I'm going to show you now is, with these gauges out here, you can see it's hovering around, I don't know, 425. Give me 1 sec, I'll grab the panel door. Okay, so our front cover's on now, and I'll show you our discharge pressure now. You see how it's dropping down? I wish I had a steadier gauge. But anyways, yes, we're coming down. We're probably around 375-ish. It is 90 degrees outside though, so like rule of thumb with most standard efficiency units is you're gonna be 30 degrees above ambient temperature on your discharge gauge. So these gauges here, I'm not sure here, I'll bring it in a little bit closer. These gauges here, they don't only show pressure, they also have a temperature scale on them, if you can see it. That pink scale, so that would be for 410, which is what we have right now, and it also does 22. So these are degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So if this is hovering around 110, 115, I told you it's 90 degree ambient outside, we're in the ballpark of 30 degrees higher. So that's not awful. And the condenser seems fairly clean. So I think our unit's running pretty well. Now, we'll throw it on second stage just to verify, and then we'll button the unit up, and that should be it for this call. Whoopsie, here's a page from that manual. Still legible to a point. Let's put that back in the rooftop. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys before I actually take off is when you're removing your gauges when a system's running, this is the way you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to take off your higher pressure side first. So we're running about 400 PSI with the door off right now. Our low side's running just over 150, maybe 160. Anyways, you're going to remove your discharge gauge first. So that is off now, not fluttering anymore. And what you do so you don't lose refrigerant in the system, remember, this hose is 5 feet long, so that will hold, I don't know, several ounces of refrigerant. You don't want to lose this out of your system. All you do is you open up your discharge gauge, like so, your manifold gauge, which is the middle, your middle manifold, which is letting the flow into this center port. And then you're going to open your suction gauge, and this will draw in any high pressure from the other side, which it was already open. So anyways, that's the principle behind it there. You can close all these off. You can remove your suction gauge from the unit. And I'll show you how much gas we actually lose. It should be minimal. Not much, not much, not much. So there you go. That's kind of all you need to know. We're going to check our suction pressure on this side. I'll show you the danger of Carrier quickly now before I end this. So our suction gauge is back there, okay? It's very difficult to get at. Right? I don't want to stick my hand in here because you see that fan? If you put your hand up too high, you can kiss it goodbye. Anyways, we're going to shut the power off, and I'll show you how I'm going to get at that gauge right there in the back. Oh man, I tell you, these engineers, they really don't care about anyone else. I can promise you that. Like, why would you put this all the way back here? And a lot of the time, you can't even have the convenience of shutting the system off. Like, you're going to want to troubleshoot while it's energized. So this is just a death trap, in my opinion. But we're just going to hook up our suction gauge here. So let's see what our pressures are like. We're going to restore power. Boom. Oh, we got a bit of a buzz. It's our blower contactor. We might have to replace that too. Anyways, here we are. We're pulling down. This is stage 2, compressor B1. We're picking up heat. Excellent. And we are running at about 45 degrees, according to the pink gauge, which I told you guys before, and about 125 PSI, which is pretty much spot on for 410A. So, rooftop's working. Customer should be happy. And let's get off this roof. It's 42 degrees outside today. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.